Hello, everybody, and welcome to our session, The Evolution of Search in Sitecore. And today we are going to talk about how search engines in Sitecore have evolved recently, talk about some problems that we had before, talk about Sitecore Search, about its benefits, and finally we will talk about integrating Sitecore Search with generative AI and large language models. But before we begin, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Sergey Baranov. I'm Sitecore Solution Architect at Brimit with 10 years of experience in Sitecore development. I'm also Sitecore Technology MVP for the last 5 years and certified Sitecore CDB personalized and XM Cloud developer. And I'm a machine learning engineer.
Hello, my name is Yauheni, and I'm Sitecore Solution Architect at Brimit 2, with 8 years experience with Sitecore and 10 years with .NET development. I also certified Sitecore developer and certified XM Cloud developer.
So this is agenda of our today presentation. First, we will have a small introduction into traditional search problems. Next, Yevgeny will explore Sitecore Search, review some features such as uploading data, widgets, personalization, text relevance, and so on. And finally, we will show you our innovation use cases with Sitecore Search, such as integration with generative AI and LLMs and multimodal search. And of course, we will show you a demo, how all it configured and work in real solutions. And we will be glad to answer questions at the end of our presentation. So let's begin. So traditional search problems. And what I mean by traditional search? I mean just the standard lexical search or searching by keywords. When you search for us, it's just divided into keywords, and search engines try to find some relevant content with these keywords. And first and the most popular problem is no results or some unexpected results. It often happens when you don't remember the exact name of something that you want to find, or you don't remember a correct spelling. Here you can see a real example of a real website when I try to search for a pedal for subboard, but I have received some unexpected results. And of course, as you can see, when to search for a pedal with a correct spelling, with double D, you get relevant results. And the next problem is that searching by keywords does not understand synonyms, any associations, abbreviations, etc. This is also a real example. And when you try to find a report for GoPro camera, but was unable to do it. Because by using menu navigation, I finally found what I need, but search engine does not understand that this GoPro 3-way grip is a relevant result for my previous search phrase like tripod. And the third problem is homonyms. And sometimes search engines find some information that contains keywords. But these results are not relevant because meaning of these words is different. When I ask for Swiss watch, I mean the wristwatch of certain brand, but receive some information about movies in Switzerland. And of course, searching by keywords is very, very limited. It's not able to search for media content. It does not personalize search results. It doesn't store any analytics to improve future results, and so on. And how we can improve our search. So in the past, as you all probably know, especially if you have experience with Solr or similar search engines, we had to use tools like spell checker, suggesters, use different techniques like stemming, lemmatization, shingling, etc. But these are all just text processing algorithms, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot make the search engine understand the meaning of what exactly user is asking. But modern solutions take a completely different approach to this. First of all, this is a semantic search. Semantic search uses embeddings and stores information in vector representation that allow us to understand meaning of user prompts, and even to get multimodal search when search engines can understand information in any form. For example, you can search for an image or for audio file, etc. And of course, today is very popular is using of generative AI and LLMs. This allows us to search for information without any limitations and to also explain the relevance of the search results, to answer questions like a human, to search information in the internet, and much, much more. And I will talk about it a little bit later. So the next section is overview of Sitecore Search, and let's pass the floor to my colleague.
And now I'm going to talk about Sitecore Search. I will go over its feature as uploading data, widget, personalization, and others. And also I will share my life experience with Sitecore Search. Sitecore Search is a powerful tool that lets you create personalized and predictive search experience for your visitors. It's gathered data to improve the search process, such as search results, filters, and suggestions. You can also track that visitor do on your website and send this information to search, allowing it to create personalized content and provide useful insights. Let's take a closer look at what Sitecore Search is and the features it offers. And of course, first we need to talk about how you can upload data in Sitecore Search. Sitecore Search provides several ways to upload data for search. First way, it is web crawler. It is a basic tool that moves through your content by starting at a specific point and following links or using a sitemap. It is easy to set up, requires no coding, and is user-friendly, everything. The second is advanced web crawler. It is a more flexible and powerful option. It can handle complex tasks like dealing with authentication, managing content in different languages, and using JavaScript to pull specific data. The next, it is API crawler. Designed to crawl API endpoints that provide JSON data. It can manage authentication, handle localized content, and extract data using JSON path or JavaScript. Also, Sitecore Search has feed crawler, and you can upload data through CSV or JSON files. And the last, it is Ingestion API. It is a RESTful API that allow you to create, update, or delete index document. Based on my experience, I have worked with API crawler and the Ingestion API. And here what I have found. If you want full control over data uploads, the Ingestion API is the way to go. It allows you to add, update, partially update, or delete individual items, which means you can synchronize data in real time with your website. However, a significant minus is that you cannot remove all items from your source. Source it is index with a single query. So it means that creating logic like rebuild index isn't possible. Also, keep in mind that you can only add one item per query. Anyway, Sitecore Search has a quiz system that benches their items into groups of 20, 30 items and push these to Sitecore Search. A good approach for creating powerful data uploading is to use AP crawler for the initial data upload and schedule updates, and enable incremental updates, which let you update documents using the Ingestion API. On this video, you can see the source panel where you can create source based on crawlers or APIs. Sitecore Search also provides analytics, allowing you to track various metrics such as number of items uploaded, upload times, statuses, and more. You can view both overall analytics and detailed analytics for specific source. From my experience, loading 1,500 items takes about 6-10 minutes, which I find to be quite fast. Additionally, crawlers have a settings called like parallelism, with values ranging from 1 to 10, allowing you to choose how many threads will be used for your crawlers. The next point, it is the Sitecore Search widget. Search widgets are essential tools for navigation content. Without them, the data in your source wouldn't be accessible to users. Sitecore Search offers several widgets: preview search, search result, recommendation widget, banner, and HTML block. Each widget has both common and unique features. For example, the recommendation widget includes a recipe, such that other widgets don't have. Within each widget, you can set up rules, filters, and other conditions to control how your data is displayed. For example, you can configure a widget to show only items with Italy content, for example, specific tag. Additionally, if you have using personalization, you can apply filter based on personalization data, such as showing content only to user from Italy region. Sitecore Search has created powerful widgets that allow you to configure everything without needed additional code changes. The next important aspect of widget I want to highlight, it is recommendation widget and its use a recipe. Recipes are used to determine which recommendations are provided by the widget. For example, you can use a recipe to display content items that were most clicked on the past week, or recently viewed by visitor, or more recently added to the index. For each entity used in the recommendation widget, you must select a specific recipe. Sitecore provides a default recipe. It's about 13 recipes. Currently, you cannot add a custom recipe, but if you need something custom, you can write to Sitecore support and they will add this. Anyway, Sitecore Search grows in popularity and more developers start using it. And I think in future release, we will have possibility to add custom recipes. On the next slide, you can see one recipe called like similar product with fallback to top view product. This recipe provides details on how it's work, but the main point is that Sitecore Search uses different algorithms, such as semantic search and hybrid search, to display relevant data. It is not something static, everything is dynamic and intelligent, which I find really impressive. Also, I will talk about another algorithms which you can use for filter, suggestion block, and text relevance in the next slides. Let's talk about the important features of Sitecore Search called like personalization. But what is a personalization? It is it is when you customize your search result based on what users do on your website. For example, if user clicks on search item or open page with specific banner, you can adjust the search result to match their interest. To do this, you need to track what users do on your website and send this information to Sitecore Search. You have two ways to track this event. You can use React SDK, or you can track through REST API. With the event API, you can track action like views, clicks, additions, removes, and the identifications. You can even track specific widget and pages. The event API has a lot of properties you can use for tracking. Example like location, browser type, or something user information like email, address, phone, even gender. Once you send the events, Sitecore collect all data and prepare a statistic. You can use the statistic to understand how users are interactive with your website and create personalized search results for them. It is a great way to improve the search experience for your users. On this slide, you can see analytics board. This board show you analytics for your Sitecore Search. You can view various metrics such as views, clicks, requests, and more. You can also see both overall analytics and specific analytics for individual widget or pages. Also, the boards has a lot of graphics and tables, and additionally, you can download these analytics, send these analytics by email, or share them by link. The next point, which I want to show, which is text relevance and suggestions. I think any search should have these features, and Sitecore Search has, and everything you can be configured following the documentation. To be honest, I was hoping for a quickly and easy setting for this, but Sitecore has focused more on allowing deep customization of the features. To fine-tune them, you need to have a good understanding of the analyzers and know which ones to use to achieve the desired result. For my project, I just use Sitecore documentation and set up basic text relevance and suggestions. On this video, you can see suggestion settings and text relevance. In suggestion blocks, I set up keyword typo correction, and you can see how many settings Sitecore provides for you. Of course, the main point it is analyzers, and you can on the video you can see how many analyzers Sitecore provides for you, which you can use for your suggestion blocks. Text relevance looks more easy for setuping. Here, just need to choose fields and analyzers. Let's talk about analyzers. Sitecore Search use analyzers to make sure search return all relevant results, not just exact matches. Analyzers are involved in various features such as filter, personalization, suggestion blocks, text relevance, and sorting option. Analyzer works by converting text input into structure format optimized for search. They are used through a three-steps process: character filter, tokenization, and token filters. In most cases, it's recommended to use the default analyzer provided by Sitecore documentation when setting up attributes for a feature. Anyway, Sitecore Search offers a variety of analyzers ranging from basic to advanced, giving you flexible based on your needs. On slides, you can see all analyzers, but unfortunately, I don't have time to review all. But I think it is not needed because everything you can reach in Sitecore documentation. Of course, the next board which you can use, it is developer resources. It is our board for developer. where you can test our widget, test and monitoring events, and find different links to documentation and API resources. Also, I want to mention about React SDK. In our project, our team is using the React SDK. The front-end team mentioned that if you have experience with other search tools, implementing Sitecore Search will be easy because there are many similar things with other search solutions. Additionally, Sitecore Search is quite fast. For example, in our real-world experience, we achieve response times about 100 milliseconds. Finally, you can see Sitecore has created a powerful search engine. Of course, it is only the start. The Sitecore will improve Sitecore Search, but you can start to use this now. We also are waiting for the release a new features such as answering site visitor question with OpenAI, ability to tailor Sitecore Search result based on customer questions, and contextual text generation. Also, I faced with some minus, like Sitecore Search doesn't have integration with common Sitecore and even Sitecore XM Cloud. But I hope that it will be on next releases. Sometimes also you could face with other bugs or issues, but Sitecore support fixes very quickly. I think that's all about Sitecore Search. And while Sitecore Search doesn't have integration with AI system, we decide to connect this, and Sergey will tell you about how integrate AI to your search system.
So while we're waiting for new releases of Sitecore Search, we want to show you how to do some integrations with generative AI and LLMs that are currently available for us. So we have a e-commerce customer that have asked us to implement some smart search results by using AI in combination with our brand's content. So we have a website. Our website sells some perfumes, and our task is to create an AI assistant that will help the user to find the right fragrance. And here you can see a list of requirements for this feature. And let me explain all of this. So first of all, it must be an assistant who can access to the content of our website and is able to make some recommendations based on their own knowledge and knowledge of our website content. It should support voice input for ease of use in the mobile applications. It should understand different languages. Each individual user should have their own session and chat history. Also, assistant response must have unique output format, just the JSON array of products from our search index that we can use on our front end. Also, if the question is not about our product, the assistant should not answer it. Or the same way, if the assistant cannot find something related to the question, it should answer something like, sorry, we have no products matching your request. And also, our solution should be cross-platform. We need to use the same feature in both website and our mobile application. We must take care of performance and cost of the solution. And of course, the result solution should be scalable. And if our customer wants to add something else similar in the future, it should not be a very complicated process. So the task that we need to implement is called Retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG. So RAG is a process of optimizing the output of LLMs. So it references a knowledge base outside of its training data sources before generating a response. So in our case, the data source is our Sitecore Search index with information about our website products. And let's talk a little bit about LLMs and multimodal search. So in traditional search, we just search text by using some text keywords. But there is no reason why we want to stop at just text. Machine learning models can easily understand a lot more than text, and there is where it's very exciting stuff. So, and let's start with multimodal search. So machine learning models can understand not only text, but also images, audio files, such as video files, and so on, so on. So what we can do now with these models, we can just pass these data formats through the LLM, and it generates one unified vector store for all of this. And machine learning models can capture conceptual meaning of any type of data, even across different formats. So in simple words, we can compare audio to image, video to text, etc. And the really cool part about this is that now it allows us, as I say, to perform any-to-any search. So user question to the search engine does not to be in the form of text. It actually can be an image or an audio file. In the same way, we can retrieve in search results any format of data. And just don't confuse this with some popular search tools like searching in PDF, which uses optical character recognition, or sometimes I think you have seen some image search that compares image histograms, but of course without any understanding what exactly is illustrated on the image. So LLMs works in different approach. LLMs can understand context of the data of different formats without any transformation into the text. A very good example of multimodal search is a new advanced voice mode feature of ChatGPT. It enables the user to hold real-time human-like conversation with chatbot without any speech-to-text or text-to-speech preprocessing. It was released about a month ago and is available for ChatGPT Plus subscribers. So frankly speaking, ChatGPT is a good choice for many solutions that you can use for generative AI. But of course, it has some limitations. For example, this advanced voice mode does not have any API, so you can only use it in your online account. Also, ChatGPT does not support incremental updates of your knowledge base. And of course, it costs some money. But if you're familiar with LLMs and machine learning, you can even use open source free LLMs such as Mistral, ChatGPT for All, Llama, etc. There are a lot of free indexes, and you can even install it locally and use it for free for your needs. So it's a key aspect of how LLM functions is through the use of embeddings, as I said before. Embeddings are just a vector representation of your text, of your images, audio, video, etc. And during inference, the model uses these vectors to generate the responses. So one good example of open source vector database is VV8. I really like it. It has a lot of features like multimodal search, hybrid search, RAG, integration with OpenAI, with long chains, and much more. The next good example is Pinecone. It also often used in productions and environments, but mainly in some machine learning solutions. But it is not free. And sometimes you need a place where you will configure integrations between your project and between some AI services, where you also can configure sessions between your users and chatbots, configure data storages, caching mechanism, memory storage, etc. Of course, you can implement all of this in your own middleware, where you can control all this stuff. I just want to show you, just to know that there are some special tools for that. And one of them is Flowise AI. It's an open source no-code tool. It's used for developers. It's used by developers for building customized LLM orchestration and AI agents flow. So here you can see the solution architecture of our AI assistant workflow. So we have and manage content of our products in XM Cloud. And then we push this information in separate Sitecore Search index. Next, we need to create an embedding from this index data. To do it, we use V8 database as a vector store. We use OpenAI Assistant as a main agent with ChatGPT LLM. We also use Redis for session and chat memory storage and for caching. And all of these are configured in Flowise AI. And it's demo time. Sorry. So we have a website with some products, in our case it's some perfume, and we need to implement an AI assistant that will help us to find relevant products. So how to do it? Let me show you some possible solutions. And let's start with the simplest one. And it's, of course, just a creation of chat assistant directly in OpenAI. You can implement it in a few hours. You just need to create a new assistant, configure it, and use it by calling OpenAI API. So to configure assistant, you just need to provide instructions for this assistant. Then you need to upload index data that you have. But by using OpenAI, you only can do it manually. So you need to extract your data from Sitecore Search and submit JSON file with this data to the assistant. So that's all. It will work. As you can see, of course, it understands all languages, almost all. For example, here you can see my prompt in Russian. My question was that I like Antonio Banderas' Blue Seduction perfume and want to buy something with similar notes. And chatbot returns top 3 products from attached vector store from our Sitecore Search with some relevant products. You can see also some fields like relevant score, explanation for every single entity, why exactly this entity is chosen, and why it's similar to my requested Blue Seduction perfume, and so on. As you can see, the response has a structured JSON format. This feature was implemented by OpenAI a few days ago, and now we don't have a headache with responses. And now you can configure it about in 1 hour. You just need to read official documentations how to configure it, and it is not a complex task. You can find it in official OpenAI website. As you can see, it was released a week ago. And it's very easy to configure. Okay, it works perfect. You can use it directly with API calls, but there are a lot of limitations, of course. If you have Sitecore composable DXP solution that works in SaaS way. Sitecore service, software service. You're of course not able to make direct calls to open API from your front end, because first of all you will flash your API key and it will be stolen. And anyway, you had to add any backend middleware where you implement all of these communications with OpenAI, because you need to create separate threads for users, separate sessions, configure session storages, etc. So the next issue with this implementation is that you are not able to incrementally update information in your vector store. So in this implementation, if you need to update the data, you need to delete old one and upload a new one, and do it manually. It doesn't have API for this. Oh, sorry, it has API for deleting and uploading files from vector store, but of course, if you need to have a real-time actual information in your assistant, it's not available to you. And let's go to the next solution. And there is a place where Flowise AI comes in. And Flowise AI, one more time, is no-code tool for building length chains, or in other words, to build solution architecture for your AI agents. So you can create almost the same by using only one single node from Flowise AI. You just find OpenAI assistant in Agents tab and drag and drop it to Canva. You can choose existing agents, or you can create a new one. Configuration is almost the same as you have in OpenAI. Nothing different. You also need to manually upload your data set with your knowledge. And you can click a sync and it will be synced with OpenAI Playground. So first of all, you can easily test it right here, and it's very helpful between going to production to compare it, to try different models, etc. So here you can see also some examples of my requests when I try to suggest me something, and I receive the same JSON response with some products. So, but of course, Flowise AI is more powerful too. As you know, OpenAI out of the box have some tools. First of all, the file search itself. The second is a code interpreter, where you can execute and check some, for example, Python code, etc., and custom functions. But in Flowise AI, you can attach any tools that you want. There are a list of different tools out of the box. And there are also custom tools where you can implement any logic that you want with a few lines of code. It has JS code builder, where you can use almost to do any that you want. And for example, a good example, if you ask something in your chat assistant about information that it does not have in its own database, for example, some news about Olympic Games in France, of course, chat assistant will not be able to answer because it doesn't have its information. But you can easily connect it to any tools like Google Custom Search or SERP, Web Search, and you can easily this one. And you can easily configure it so your chat assistant will be able to Google information for you. And it's just only one example. So there are a lot of tools, and you can every time create your custom. You can execute any requests to any servers that you want, and it's very flexible. But of course, we still have some limitations. We are not able to incrementally update our information from Sitecore Search index to our knowledge base. And how to do it? Let's go to the final, to the our production solution. So what we have here, we have a conventional retrieval QA chain that we need to use for tasks like this. We need to connect chat model. We use OpenAI as a chat model. We can also choose any LLM that you want. I recommend to use mini or turbo models because they have a good performance and cost cheaper. Next, we can configure caching and memory mechanisms that we want to use because, for example, our customer has about 5-6 millions of users, and it's not a good way to store all of these communications in the memory. So we use Redis caching for this purpose. And we can also set up some additional nodes for our chatbot. Well, of course, we can provide some instructions. We need to ask our chatbot, don't answer the question if they are not about our product. So, and the rest that we need to do is update somehow incrementally information in our vector store from our Sitecore Search index. So as I said before, we use VV8 database for vector store. It is open source. I even have a cloud account for this. Maybe you can easily configure it. It takes about a few hours to understand how it works. So after configuration, so first of all, we need to extract somehow information from our Sitecore Search index. To do it, we can use API loader. And as Yauheni said before, Sitecore Search have an API that we can use for asking Sitecore index for data. So we can use the same information that we can set up. One thing we need to do for multi-dimensional updates, and this can we need to place identifier for our entities that will be used for understanding if this entity is updated or deleted or what to do. So here you can see example of request to the Sitecore Search index, and we have ID almost in all indexes, and this ID is unique identifier of the entity. So, but that's not all. To cache, to understand all of this updating, upsetting information, we also need to have a record manager. There are different record managers. We use SQLite because it's the simplest one. We have a small portion of data, and we just store it locally on our server. Yeah, what we need to do, we need also set up here a unique identifier of our entities to recognize what exactly entity is updated or deleted, and we need to choose incremental or full cleanup mode, and it will work as expected. So once our configuration is finished, so first we need to run this process to upsert our information from the index to the vector store. Of course, we can do it by clicking a button, or it's the manual case. And of course, for production environment, we use some more complex solution. We have a trigger when our Sitecore search index is updated, and we programmatically call the request to update the vector store. You can find examples of requests in response that you need to execute to the update information in the vector store. So, and that's all with the architecture. Let me show you. Okay, once your data is upsetted into the vector store, you can navigate to your vector database and try to check is your entity is updated or not. So you can just verify that your works vector work fine or vector store works fine. You can implement any queries in GraphQL format to your vector store. You can test it and play with it. So also, it's not all, to integrate your chat assistant to the website, you have some options. First, you can integrate your chat agents as a dialog with a pop-up window. You can find right here a configuration with a lot of settings that you can see that you can change and integrate to your website. So here is just example of the page. As you can see, it's just a HTML file that's stored locally. I insert this small snippet of the code and my assistants start to work immediately. So we can try plus something. For example, what is the weather like in London? So if you remember, our AI assistant must not answer this question like this one. It should answer only about perfume. As you can see, yes, it perfectly works. And let's go to the next, to the virtual assistants that works with voice input. And let's try to ask something. So my wife's favorite fragrance is Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. She's 36 years old and she have a birthday soon. Please suggest some alternative with similar notes. So you can see transcription of my voice. So don't pay attention that it's not so fast because it's a personal account. ChatGPT is not a production customer that has a more billing. So here you can see, for example, of results, and they are really relevant. First of all, a agent understands what my question is about, and it finds really similar perfumes to the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and explain why he chose it. And because of all of these items from our Sitecore Search index, we can easily navigate to these items and purchase it, etc. Add to the favorites. So as you can see, the real products. So I think that's all that I want to show you. Thank you for your attention.